Hello, Pujari. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How about you
So
there?
this is episode 4,
Yes,
and
episode
this
4.
episode is probably slightly different because we will be discussing fewer topics, but we will be discussing more in depth and will be more spontaneous with it. So the topic that Pujari has with us today is what is it, Pujari?
Yeah, it's about how still 84% of the world has still not been exposed to AI. And I feel that's also a massive opportunity for the rest 16% who are already exposed. And also a downside that still the 84% has to be aware of what's happening and how big of a transition is this. So I came across this article in few of the social media reels and as well as some tweets on X. So I found out about this article, the source about this article, and I found out this article on Medium. So I really want to discuss about that. I
Okay.
hope you two had a glimpse of it.
Yeah, so this popular image which says that, where each dot is 3.2 million and then there are like 2,500 dots, which roughly equates to 8.1 billion humans, right? In that,
Yes.
uh, people who use AI for coding, represented by the red dot, is roughly 2 to 5 million people. Actually, I was surprised to know that the number is so high. I wouldn't have imagined 2 to 5 million people use AI for coding, but I think it's like it depends on how many software developers are there in the world. And I'm pretty sure anybody who is in the software and product or SaaS world would have used AI in their development cycle. So maybe that's why the adoption is pretty high, even amongst the AI users. And then there are other consumers that pay like $20 a month. That's roughly 15 to 25 million, which is also surprise to me because I did not expect such big numbers, right? I thought most of them would be free chatbot users, which they are. I mean, the remaining dots, which account for roughly 1.3 billion users, they're all free users. But thinking that, like, uh, that's how much would 25 million of 1.3 billion be? So that is like, mm,
It's not even close to a quarter. It's not even close to 25%. So that's a very staggeringly. Uh,
yeah,
would
that's a
you, would
lot
you
of
say a
paying
low
users.
number? Yeah. That's a lot of
So
paying users, and yeah, I was also quite surprised because if you take a sample set of just the people you surround yourself daily with, let's say your colleagues or let's say your co-students or your neighbors, I feel certainly the number was is very high, to be very frank, because in my first circle of friends here in Germany, I assume out of 10, let's say we only 3 are subscribers, and most of the time we share our accounts if they really need to use that for the paid version during any assignments or exams. So yeah, even I too was surprised that nearly 5 million users coding and 25 million pays $20 per month for that.
yeah. Uh, so recently Cursor came up with this much smaller plan for India. I think it was priced at around 649 rupees, which is roughly $6, right?
Yeah,
Six or five $5. No, no, that would be $7.
$7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think this one counts $20 plans. So ChatGPT Go also, OpenAI released a Go plan which was 399, which I think for Airtel users, if I'm not wrong, it was given for free for 1 year. I think those also count as paid users, um, but not sure how the math here works because if you look at it that way, Perplexity was offered for free I think Perplexity was associated with Airtel. They gave their pro plan for an entire year, and so did Google for all the students with student email IDs. They gave their AI pro plan for free for an entire year. So I think a lot of those people will also start coming into the market, and because they're used to using these pro features, they will expect uh, their uh, they probably wouldn't expect that the free plan um, will, that they're yet to experience what free AI looks like. So they will probably subscribe if it was a great value add for them in the free exposure. So that number will probably go up, or it accounts. Either ways, that is still great metrics. But I think what you are trying to say is 84% of them have not used AI. So that is the focus of your um, topic today, right?
Yes, that's the focus of my topic. And also, I was surprised that it's still 84%. I expect it to be around 90% because, like mentioned earlier, if you take a small sample data set of just the
I didn't
people
have, what do
you
you
meet
mean?
frequent,
It should have been 90%. So 84% of them have not used AI so far, as
yeah.
per the estimate.
So I assume it's 90% of them have never used AI. Is that what I was assuming?
That's only a 6% gap, right?
Yeah, still the 6% gap, if you consider the whole population to be 800 million 8 billion population world, I feel that significantly a big it accounts to a good number of difference between 84% and 90%. So if you narrow it down through a funnel to the smallest sample data set just around you, like the daily people you meet daily, your colleagues, your neighbors, your co-students. So I feel that number, I expect it to be a bit high, and I feel 84% is still maybe let's say down the line 5 years ahead. I feel that percentage should be at least 50 to 60%. It has to be reduced to that because the way the things are changing, I feel more people has to take advantage of it and more people has to adopt it. Is my point of view. What do you
Right.
say?
So I think another distinction to be drawn here is how many people have had any sort of exposure to AI. That changes dramatically when you see Google integrating AI in most of its products, right? I've noticed in YouTube Shorts, sometimes when you go on a video that's not in your native language, it tries to auto dub it. Right, you can see some Hindi
Yeah.
videos playing in English, some English videos playing in Hindi. They are all auto-dubbed using AI, right? Uh, I think that is an exposure of AI to people. Probably this sort of estimate does not count that. And even on Google AI search, when you type for something, you get a AI summary on top. That is also exposure to AI, right? So I
Yeah,
feel
that's
any
another day. Yeah.
user that has exposure to the internet would have come across, um, would have used AI directly or indirectly. So I think let's just look at what is the internet users count in the world. What is your estimate? Out of 8 billion people,
My
how many billion people do you think have access?
I feel it's roughly 3 billion, 2 to 3 billion people. If I assume,
Well, then that would put it at less than 50% of the users have access to internet, right?
no, I feel then 4 billion, at least 4 to 5 billion.
Okay. A quick Google search is saying 6 billion people approximately have internet, which is 74%, right? Which means 25% of them don't have access to internet. So we can't expect them
Internet, okay.
to be users of AI anytime soon. So first they have to come to the internet, and I think as soon as they come to internet, they will be facing AI in all directions. Even on Google Maps now, if you click on any location, you get to see an AI summary of all the reviews. In fact, even on
Yes,
Amazon,
certainly.
it summarizes the reviews. So I guess as soon as you onboard somebody to internet, you they are direct and indirectly a user of AI right there.
Yeah, I get your point. I really want to add to that. I still account my parents' first experience of using an AI tool was when they were searching something on the Google, and they were expecting a result similar to this, let's say 5 to 6 years ago, when you used to get a lot of unfiltered results. You used to get a lot of web links, and you had to go inside each one and you had to analyze which one is the best for you. And
Right.
they tell that we were expecting this to be back then, and today we're able to see that it's so specific, and they're very happy with that. And I feel Google has done a very good job in having adding another AI section to that, which was not, it didn't exist before. And I'm really very happy. Even today, for most of the simple task, the first my thumb first clicks on Google instead of the AI models which I use on day-to-day basis. And I feel it's very good UI UX what Google has developed for that, and I really appreciate that. Then they're the master of that, since they are one of the first key persons to enter the browser space and the search engine space at such a massive scale. So it was bound for them to do the best.
Right. So right now, if we keep the constraint that internet users are not going to increase, so if um, if we have 6 billion people, which is roughly 75%, and if AI usage is at 16%, right? So that gives room to um 60% increase, right? 50 to 60% increase. So that is how
Yeah.
much of internet users that are left to be captured. So, I mean, the free users that who use internet, all their token cost, because it still costs money, right? Many of them,
It costs money, yeah.
they, as being a free user, they use these products really extensively. Um, maybe we can exclude college students because they get a lot of free tier plans, which are equivalent to pro plans. But most other people, maybe working professionals who are using AI outside their work, maybe to do some Excel work, or maybe smaller companies that don't have the resources to afford larger paid plans. In those cases, some people really do leverage. I mean, there was a time where I was paying for Claude, but I was not a paid user of ChatGPT, but I was leveraging ChatGPT a lot because my tokens in Claude ran out, right? So, and I used to uh, heavily leverage the free plan there to do all sorts of things. And if you actually look at it, right, the ChatGPT free plan itself offers a lot. Yesterday, they made the 5.6 Luna of unlimited, right? So all these paid users are kind of subsidizing the usage of the free user plans. So the more the share of the paid user increases, I think it will be easier for the AI labs to fund their future models, and they will rely less on uh, funding, right? And obviously, that's going to increase their valuations. Anthropic is, around 100 billion paid users right now, but most of their revenue is coming from enterprise plans. So I think this number increase in consumers that we are seeing as a share of the world population will come through consumer facing AIs like ChatGPT and probably Gemini.
Yeah, and I feel Anthropic is doing a very good task in very good job in making their plans enterprise based, because I feel when they make it enterprise based, every employee of a certain enterprise are bound to use Claude, and later on when they find it very comfortable and using, they definitely go on to buy their personal plans as well. the Pro and Max plans for the personal usage. If somebody wants to do a side project or for the day-to-day usage, I feel the connectors have been doing a very good job. I personally type a lot of emails, and I reply to a lot of emails just using the help of connectors. I just see a go and I click on send. I feel yeah, so they have been doing a very good job, and they've been
So you
following the
use
path what.
Claude connectors on Gmail.
Yes.
Why not just use Gemini?
Well, I had the subscription free for a year, and it just got over, so I'm using Cloud connectors for Gmail to draft my emails.
Right. I think um, Google should really come and offer a free tier in all these places, probably searching in Drive or searching in photos using in Gmail. So I was checking uh, Gmail on my phone, um, and there was no AI summary button, which probably went after the Pro plan went, right? I think they should
Yes,
offer at
certainly.
least a few summaries a day, so at least so people who didn't have a chance to look at what the Pro plan offered, they can get to see what's offered there.
Yeah, I agree well with your point. I feel that could be if let's say I was in the marketing team of Google, I would definitely use this as a clickbait tool for people to just get used to it and later on they are bound to buy. So even I myself was just having a thought before when I used to use the Pro plan until last month. A lot of the time I used to reply to emails. The Gemini used to suggest the reply content for emails as well. So I feel yeah, that was a very massive opportunity. That's a very massive opportunity for Google as well, and I was also wondering why don't I continue this plan? But again, the price point didn't make sense to me, and I was bound to buy Cloud monthly plan, and that has been the best option for me right now. And I'm a good benefactor of that.
I think I noticed a lot of users migrate from ChatGPT to Claude. So I was a paid user in ChatGPT before, right? And then after looking at uh, the kind of offering that Anthropic was giving, especially its coding capabilities, we moved to ChatGPT. But then again, there started another wave where people started ditching Cloud Code and started moving to Codex because the whole limit resetting thing was a much better experience in codecs. um, and additionally you would get image and video. That's like one downside, right? You don't get to generate images or video in Claude. But I think people like me still stick to Claude, simply because Claude Code is such an amazing product. um, I can't comment much on Codex because I've not been a consistent user of that product. I'm sure it's great, but somehow Claude has figured out this stickiness with their product that's making it hard for users like me to leave.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And like I mentioned earlier, if one, let's say I give an example of one of my friend, he works for a very large scale firm in Bangalore, and his offers uses Cloud Enterprise plan for the day-to-day functioning. So he ended up buying the Cloud monthly plan because he found it very useful and he was very accustomed to all the buttons over there. And for his day-to-day use, he's now using Cloud plan. And yeah, it's a very good business point as well to make money for the users as well. But yeah, the only concern I am having about all the AI companies like Anthropic and OpenAI is the valuation which they try to mention. I don't think the valuation makes sense for the revenue they're generating as of now. But yeah, again, it's just the long run game of the dollar. We have to see how it goes.
Any other insights you have from the article?
Well, that's it pretty much. And I think this article has this is actually a pretty old article. I was just I think picture I think many would have had a glimpse of it for social media, but this article is was published in February 2026, and I feel most of significant part of the population has to read this article so that they start using AI tools much more.
Yeah, we'll put a link of that in the description.
Yes, certainly.
Okay, I think that was
Okay.
a very quick discussion. We'll come back soon with much more topics and hopefully with more of tabs open. So
Yeah, open tabs. Yes,
great.
great. So I feel our subscribers should be eager to be listening to our next topics as well.
Yeah, we'll come back soon.
So
Okay, that
soon,
was a
yeah.
great episode. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.